Hello and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 1st of November for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now, as ever, I'm going to give the major strands of this week before diving deep into each of the Zodiac signs, so please stay with me. Of course, this is a new month and it begins with the Sun in an electric opposition to Uranus. The Sun is in Scorpio, which is a fixed sign, and so is Uranus in Taurus. So there's a polarity there. But Uranus is about change and fixed signs is about continuity. So when it comes to shared resources, Scorpio, everyday money, Taurus, spending decisions, or close devotional relationships, alliances, where we're most invested, there could be the need to make some changes. But also this week we're seeing a new moon in Scorpio, and because of the energy of Uranus, it's a fine time to think outside the box and be more innovative in our approach. But if something is very rigid or we're resisting something in our lives, perhaps because we are a little bit fearful of change, then there could be a tension that builds up over the next 3 or 4 weeks of this new moon. But also at the very start of this week, Mercury and Jupiter continue to forge an awesome alliance. So if there is something you need to talk about around a business situation, that can be very helpful. Now, later in the week, there is some big action too, because Mercury dives deep into the sign of Scorpio on Friday. In fact, on Wednesday, it comes out of shadow, really bringing to the end the retrograde period in the sign of Libra. But once it goes into Scorpio, it's not so much what people are saying, it's what they really mean. And Mercury in Scorpio helps us to decipher what's not obvious. But also Venus moves on the same day into a long duration in the sign of Capricorn. Now, ordinarily, Venus takes around 28 days to pass through each zodiac sign. But it's going to be in Capricorn through to the 6th of March. So this is a really extensive transit. Now, Venus in Capricorn can make us think very seriously about our responsibilities in relationships, but it also suggests in a professional context that if we can build up alliances based on goodwill and diplomacy, that can be a very good thing to go for. But almost immediately at the end of this week, Mars and Saturn are in a rather chaffing right angle. So even if we are talking with some urgency about a financial or a relationship matter, Saturn in the sector of the future, in this particular situation, that could see us limited in some way around some of our choices, or that's how it can feel. So please stay with me for your deep dive video. But remember, if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the subscription link beneath this video. Also, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you want to get your year 22 personal forecast, if you order it now, you can get the rest of this year free, plus a character analysis and 30% off. Thank you so much. Hello Cancer, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 1st of November. It's a really exciting week for you, to be honest. There's a new moon in your 5th house of joys, of self-expression, of sociability, and this gives you a real opportunity to shake things up a little bit. You know, if COVID restrictions have meant that it's been much more difficult to mix and mingle, and it's safe to do so in your particular locality, I think you may do some things in a rather more spontaneous way this week and over the next 3 or 4 too, because of the new moon. The new moon's really giving you a platform to showcase what makes you unique and special during that next month. So a chance to really trail a blaze. But also Mercury, the planet of communication, which has been locked in a tremendously introspective part of your situation for weeks due to that shadow period, retrograde and post-shadow period. Well, on Wednesday it emerges from the shadow, and on Friday it moves into your sister water sign of Scorpio. Now Mercury doesn't really enjoy being in the 4th house of a transit, so being in the 5th house, you could find your sense of humour really clicks into gear. It's not that you won't have had one, it may have just been a bit more muted, you may have been more focused on some deeply personal thinking and communications. But also Venus, the planet of love and affection, moves into the most harmonising part of your scope for a very long transit, one which is going to last through to the 6th of March. This is incredibly rare, and because it's also going to be conjoining with Pluto for much of December and some of early next year, there could be a kind of fatedness around certain connections that you enjoy during that period of time. If there is one gotcha this week, it is that Mars square with Saturn. So I think it's just saying to you, if you are wanting to do something that's a bit freer and be a bit more impulsive or spontaneous, Saturn's there just reminding you about the cost. But remember also that Jupiter is still in your 8th house, and that does give you opportunities. So it's not necessarily all doom and gloom when it comes to your long-term resources, but it's just because Mars is the planet of instant gratification in the 5th house, which is a super place for Mars to be. It is just holding you back a little bit, perhaps around a romantic connection towards the end of this week, or around the cost of something that you may crave or find rather desirable.